Hi everyone and welcome. I am Claire with ClareArmstrong.com, and today we are going to do an oracle card reading. The question that I've presented to the oracle today is, will I be successful? Will I be successful? While I was shuffling the cards, this group of cards just fell out onto the table, so I've decided to honor those and use those so we can just go ahead and get started. So for the first card, we have Higher Power. And this card really speaks about our connection with our higher power. This could be our connection to God or to the angels or even to our own higher aspects. And it calls for a need for concentrating and focusing on that connection. So it could be through prayer. I wonder if I can put the card here. Would that be better? Through prayer, meditation, whether it's law of attraction work, that kind of thing. If there's something that you are feeling inspired to do, if there's some type of inspired action that you are feeling called towards, or maybe you're seeing signs from the universe, something like that, then the advice of this card really is to follow those nudges if you should see them or feel them or experience them in any type of way. It can be about releasing fears as well. So if you're feeling maybe fear of success, which is a very real thing, or fear of failure in some type of way or some type of capacity, then the advice of this card is really to focus on releasing those to your higher power. So I would say setting aside some time to really be in kind of, do the soul searching, really feeling out a situation, if it's something that you really want to pursue, and if so, then really releasing those fears up to God. It could be maybe on a daily basis, remembering to always call in, to your higher source, whatever you believe in, and calling in protection as well. So you'd be calling in your angels, archangels, spirit guides, whoever it is that you or Archangel Michael, or whoever it is that you call to for help or for guidance and for protection. But as a starting point for this question, it looks very, very positive. I would definitely be open to asking for and receiving the signs of, maybe you have this idea and you're not sure how to implement it or what steps you need to take. Really put that out there into the universe. Could you please help me? Can you please show me the signs? Can you let me know what my next action step would be? This is in the very kind of the earlier maybe phase of of creation of something that you're trying to create, or maybe you've been invested in something and you just need a little bit of guidance. So that as your starting point is really good. Second card, we have Breathe. Once again, this card looks to me as though she's in having a little bit of quiet time, a little bit of meditation. So this is conscious creation again, or conscious co-creation. Looks like she is in communication with this higher power, or this card that we're seeing here. She's taking a little bit of time out, and of course the word on the card is breathe. Sometimes, and this applies to me as well, I think sometimes we actually forget the power of sitting quietly in a meditative state, or even just to be conscious with the breaths that we take. Taking conscious, deliberate, and controlled breaths. Really, bringing in your breath and holding it and releasing it. And how quickly that can actually take us from one vibratory state, or which ultimately would be a point of creation, I might add, and bring us into another one that's maybe much more serene or much more peaceful. So it's a direct follow on from this higher power. This is just reinforcing what the original message was. So like I said, you could have something that you have been working on, and maybe you just need a little bit of guidance. You're just not sure of what your next steps are. And the advice of this oracle card is to keep on being, keeping the intention set, keeping ourselves in a very positive energy. Ask the questions and release them up to spirit or the higher power, and allow them to bring the answers to us, and be in a place of receptivity where we are able to receive those answers and that guidance. The next card we have is Come to the Edge. Now, come to the edge, this is it's going to be like the next incremental step in this process, because come to the edge is actually talking about action steps. So this would be, really being open and receptive to, the next step, and inspired action, but then actually following through with that, with the action step. To me, it's kind of got a little bit of an air of the Fool card from Tarot, which is going to be, it's kind of encouraging us to take some leap of faith. So it could be us taking the action step that is then putting us a little bit out of our comfort zone as well. Taking a leap of faith can really be about, there's going to be a need for courage within that, because when we're looking at something that's potentially outside of our comfort zone, then, the advice of this is going to be to feel the fear, but to do it anyway. It's inspired action. It's not any type of kind of reckless action or anything like that. It's inspired action, and it's taking positive steps in the direction of your goal or your ultimate dream. So as far as am I going to be successful, so far this is looking really, really good. Yeah. Oh goodness. Okay. The next card we have, exchanging gifts. So the energy of this card is really about reciprocated exchanges. You've got one individual who is giving of themselves, but as a direct response to that, it's another offering a gift in return. So it's an even exchange. And so the advice of this card is really going to be about surrounding ourselves with people or circumstances that feel as though they are reciprocated. In some cases, it could be the acknowledgement or the realization that it's very important that if we are giving of ourselves, that we are receiving, well, if it's work, then it would be fair compensation, as an example. So, the importance of our understanding and acknowledging our self-worth, and what is a fair exchange for our time and for our energy, surrounding ourselves with people who we really feel meet us in the middle. It's a meeting of the minds, and a meeting, it's kind of like meeting in the middle. And in any areas of our life where we haven't felt that sense of receptivity, and, you know, just we haven't felt ourselves being honored in that same type of way. If we are giving too much of ourselves but not receiving enough in return, we have to really understand that that's not going to be necessarily in our highest and best good. So as far as will I be successful, this looks very much that way. But it does involve us making decisions or making changes in our lives in any area where we don't feel that we're really being compensated fairly or met in the middle. And we're going to be guided onto the path that is going to provide that. So it could bring big changes or profound changes within this come to the edge card. You know, it could be calling for the release of something that has not been working, or the release of people that maybe just haven't really been very good for us or very healthy for us. Possibly for some people that could apply. But overall, it's just taking us out of one kind of vibration that's not really fulfilling our it's almost life purpose. I'm going to say it's, you know, that's not really on path for us, or not really in alignment with our, you know, with our higher self and our life purpose, and kind of putting us on a new path through inspired signs, and then following through with inspired action as well. Oh, okay, so the final card is blessed. So the direct answer to the question, am I going to be successful? Yes. Yes, you are going to be successful. There is ultimately extreme success within this card. It's sort of the ultimate of abundance, really positive opportunity, and things almost working out better than you could have possibly imagined. Now, once again, with this come to the edge and this inspired call for inspire action, you know, it's sort of reinforcing the idea that it's very, very important to recognize our own self-worth. You know what we really give of ourselves, and what we're really receiving back, and being receptive to something that's on a higher vibration. So this could be, as far as success, you know, it could be in any area of life. I mean, it could be financially, or it could be within relationship. I mean, it just depends on what type of success you're looking for and what success ultimately really means to you. But it's the advice of the oracle here is to get into alignment with that, and anything that doesn't feel in alignment to that, you're going to have to let it go. You're going to have to lovingly release it. Release it to the higher power. Ask for, you know, relationships that serve your highest good in a more nurturing and reciprocated way, or work opportunities if that applies to you, or business opportunities if that applies to you. Are you going to be successful? Yes, you are. If you make the commitment to following what's in your highest and best good, then you absolutely will be successful. Let's see what this last card. This is tarot. This is the advice of tarot. Oh, it's the King of Air. You know, I really like this king. This king can be an intellectual type of person. And he can also be in a position of power in some kind of way. So it could be, you know, I usually see the King of Air as legal or analytical. He's very analytical, but he could be in a position of, I don't know, like a police officer or a lawyer or a judge or something like that. So there is that sort of legal and justice aspect to this card. That's how I'm reading it. So advice of tarot. Well, somebody could be coming in to this somebody who is going to be, it could be a new boss, somebody who's making some kind of offer to you, but it could also be guidance as well, bringing information, and like a lawyer as an example, or a judge or something like that. But this king is going to bring some type of knowledge, some type of information to this whole scenario. So it could be getting legal advice, or it could be maybe a marketing manager or something like that. The advice of tarot is that this king is going to offer advice. Take this advice. This is sound advice. And sometimes this king can be a little sharp with his words. So he might not deliver the message in the most kind of loving or emotional way, but he's still bringing to you the information that you need. So advice of tarot, be open to this, be receptive to this. This king is bringing you some type of information or knowledge that you are going to want to pay attention to. So that is an amazing reading. Are you going to be successful? Yes, you really are. And the process of that can be very, very fun, opening up to just really embracing the positive vibration of creation and co-creation and enjoying the journey. So if you've enjoyed this message, please do like the video. You can subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to find out information for a personal reading from me, you can find all my information at my website, clarearmstrong.com, as well as information about my life stories, my book, The Rock Star That Stole My Life, Allegedly. Thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time.